Hello, my name is Nora Lenz, N-O-R-A-L-E-N-Z. I'm a teacher with 30 years of experience in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm here today to speak in support of LB440 on behalf of the Nebraska State Education Association. Before I begin, I just want to give you a little bit of background. Teachers in my district get 11 days leave per year, which is 1 day a month, but it is cumulative. Why do I believe LB440 would be a godsend for teachers? Please allow me to share my story. In the summer of 2019, my parents were placed in a nursing home. My mother was placed in a nursing home. My father, still in good health at the time, remained in his home. Since he was unable to care for my mother on his own, my family made a collective decision to ensure she was never alone. I was assigned to be with her Friday through Sunday. Balancing these visits with my full-time teaching job, despite living 150 miles away in Lincoln, the travel was exhausting, but honoring my father's wishes was also a priority. Then in January 2020, my father fell ill. I began spending time with him as well, and it quickly became clear that he was losing the will to live. The looming threat of COVID-19, his condition grew even more fragile. At that point, I'd face an impossible decision: continue my weekend visits or retire. Unfortunately, early retirement was not an option. I had a daughter in college and a son in high school, and I simply couldn't afford to go without a salary. When my father was hospitalized, my heart ached to be by his side, but I couldn't. I longed to spend more time with my mother, but again, I couldn't. I was juggling the responsibility of caring for 2 families while working a full-time job. I was with my father during the final 4 days of his life. I held his hand as he took his last breath. But to this day, I regret not being there with him sooner before he was hospitalized. I truly believe that if I had been able to take even a short leave from work, he might have lived longer. The Family Medical Leave Act could have eased the pain. Every day I carry the weight, of abandoning my father. Let's not forget about my mom. She was in the nursing home. COVID had come and we could not go in. 17 days later, after my father passed on March 4th, March 21st, my mother passed as well. LB440 would have given me the time I desperately need to be with my parents. And I know that it is a good thing. No one should be between a paycheck and a family. And I know that leave is an option. Thank you. My daughter works for Merck, which is a pharmaceutical company, That company, which is an international company, gives new mothers 4 months leave. They have unlimited sick leave. They have vacation leave. And they have this thing called compassion leave. So she was allowed to be with her daughter 4 months and then as needed without any pay docked. Yet a new mother, being a teacher or an older teacher like myself, not able to care for our parents, we go without pay. Even after 30 years of dedication to of education, we are not given that dignity. Thank you.
Appreciate your heartfelt testimony.
Sorry about that, Mr. Burt.
Senator
Berman.
Any questions? Yes, Senator Conrad.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for being here and for your dedication to education and sharing your story with us today, which I know is not easy, but is helpful. I think to helping the committee and our colleagues later on the floor hopefully understand the importance and need for legislation like that. And if you don't know, did you ever have a chance to be a part of the bargaining team in your school or in your district?
No, I was never on the bargaining team.
Okay, and we can maybe continue the conversation beyond that, and it kind of ties on what Senator Hughes was asking earlier, but I was just curious as to whether or not issues like this have been on the bargaining table, and then what the reception has been from local school districts and school boards and administrators, because we know we have a teacher shortage. We know we have recruitment and retention issues. This seems like everybody's willing to do their part to really, which would make a huge difference for our teacher shortage and on recruitment and retention issues, and yet here we are at the state level because we're not pursuing these solutions on the local level, or when teachers are trying to pursue these solutions, they're hitting a roadblock with school boards and administrators. And I wanted, you don't necessarily have to respond to that, but I wanted to lift that up for later in the hearing.
Right.
Because I think it maybe helps to connect the dots on some of the issues.
I am on the board of the Lincoln Education Association.
Oh, great. Okay.
And
Yeah.
on the NSEA Board of Directors. So we talk about it a lot, and the
Yeah.
district negotiates, and they give us 11 days leave. And this year we did negotiate an additional 2 days for people who have 20, it's kind of hard to
That's
explain on the steps,
No, that's
22
okay.
years of experience. But, you know, a day a month, that's it, is not a lot of leave. And as teachers, they don't like to be gone. You heard the
Right.
young mom say, we go sick. We don't care. We go sick and we cannot miss. Only because, one, we're very dedicated to our classrooms. Two, we can't. We just can't afford to have that leave. I was telling a friend I never took a sick day until this year. Last year, sorry, when my dentist almost killed me. Otherwise, I never took a sick leave. And so it was just something, it's
Yeah.
ingrained in us. But there are times when people have to leave, and negotiations between LEA and the school districts, it's a hard thing. Everybody's given a little bit, and we do have family leave. However, there are stipulations, and it isn't paid. You do have to use your leave, and then when you come back, you have no leave. You know, like my daughter's company, they have a compassion leave. That's nothing against you. You just take the day. It's a hard thing when you're going to school and you're happy, but inside you're falling apart because your baby's sick or your father's dying. But it's amazing. Teachers go to school happy as can be and focused, and they're some of the most intelligent, kindest people you'll ever meet.
Yes, I agree with that assessment. Thank you for sharing that feedback. I just wanted to make sure that we had a better understanding about the lack of action or lack of responsiveness on the local level that may have brought us here today.
Yeah.
So
This would really help, and Senator Hughes talked about pushback from the district. I can only hope that they're like, okay, this is the kick we need. And teachers are going to be putting in the money, so it's a give. I probably will never use it, but I'm so happy to give to it.
great, thanks. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, thank you.
Thank you.